Hi, ladies and gents. Welcome to CEO Meets. I'm Pip Wilkins, the Chief Executive of the BFA, and I'm joined today by fellow Chief Executive, Yvonne from Home Care by Kare Plus and Kare Plus. So Yvonne, let's start by just separating out what those two brands are and what they do.
Nice to meet you, Pip, and thank you for welcoming me along to give a talk about Kare Plus in effect and what we do. So we have the two models. We have Kare Plus, which is a dual model, where we provide recruitment solutions into hospitals, the NHS, care homes, and any private provider that might have a skill shortage of healthcare professionals or care workers, in fact.
Okay.
Included within that dual model, we also have home care. So that is where we provide carers to people who want to continue to live in their own home. So the recruitment side of the business feeds into the home care side of the business.
Yep.
That's quite a large territory in order to do that. We also have Home Care by Kare Plus, which is a smaller territory model, and it is just home care alone. So we provide predominantly carers, but it could be healthcare professionals, into people who want to continue to live in their own home. Hopefully that makes sense. That's basically what the two models are.
If I get it, Yvonne, everyone else will. So Kare Plus is the dual model. Home Care by Kare Plus is just the home care.
Yes.
But if you have Kare Plus, you do the recruitment as well.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Well done. Yes, I got that across, thankfully.
Brilliant. So from our perspective, we had a bit of a giggle before we started this, just talking a bit about some of the things that you've been doing. So rather than say, what's the last 18 months been like, let's talk about what you've been doing in the last 18 months to support franchisees. And I really loved the fact that you had your very own Cobra concept of meetings. So talk to us a bit about what they were and how they worked with your franchisees.
We did. So the government had Cobra, so we decided we wanted Cobra as well, but we are Kare Plus with a K, so our Cobra is Cobra with a K. So the Cobra meetings took place on a regular basis. What we soon identified at the very beginning of the pandemic was that the information that came out from the government was very hit and miss and could be quite confusing at times, or it would come out on a Friday evening as everybody was about to go home, and then the network would be, oh my goodness, what do we do? How do we do it? We are fortunate that we have a modern matron who works within our head office, a lady called Kate. Kate is very knowledgeable and up to date on the information with the government. She works with behind the scenes for us, and he would spend the majority of our weekends pulling the information apart and putting it into a way that our franchisees would understand. So then we would have on a Monday, it tended to be on a Monday afternoon, we would have a regular meeting with our franchisees to get the information across. What we found is probably after about 6 weeks, we didn't need to do that anymore because the government seemed to get their act together. Yep. And the information was made a lot clearer. I think there was a lot of questioning that came across from yourselves, from UKHCA, and all those providers saying, what's going off here? We need up-to-date information that we can all understand. So yes, so we had our own Cobra.
It's brilliant. I love it. And it's been busy. So building in support infrastructures of things. You also spoke a little bit about Able Futures. How did that work for your franchisees, and what was that, as a support mechanism?
Yeah. So we had that not only we had that for our franchisees and for our own employees who work for Kare Plus as well. What became evident with the pandemic was that people working at home, it's completely different to working in an office environment where you've got the day-to-day support around you in an office environment. You don't necessarily have that when you're working at home. And some of them thought it was absolutely great for the first week, for the first month, but it became, we're all human. At the day, we are all human. And that is, it doesn't matter what job you do, who you are, you will have had some form of impact because of the pandemic, the isolation from the pandemic. So that happened to each and every one of us. We engaged with a company called Able Futures, and we engaged in partnership support with them around mental health services. So anybody who works for Kare Plus, any of our franchisees, they all have access to Able Futures.
Fantastic. And I think it's really important, isn't it? We were talking again before we hit record about kind of managing your people, and they became really sort of central to everything. But I think it's been a nice opportunity to see strengthening in teams and strengthening in franchise networks as a whole. So let's have a little bit of chat about what you're looking to do going forward. So, you know, with the two brands, what are your kind of growth aspirations, and what are your big plans for the next sort of 3 to 5 years?
Of course, like any franchisor, we have growth aspirations. However, we've got to be realistic about this as well. The pandemic has had a knock on the franchise industry, not just ourselves. You know, franchise sales haven't come through as quick this year as they have previously. People are thinking about every penny that they spend and what's going to happen in the next 6-12 months. So yes, we do have aspirations. Yes, we do want to grow as a franchisor. However, we're realistic about that as well. And sometimes you've got to put things into perspective. If you grow too quickly as a business, the footings aren't always there. The groundwork isn't always there. So to bring too many franchisors on at once as well, you're not guaranteed that you're going to be able to give them all the support that they need to be able to get them up and running and grow and everything that they need, because they do need that support. They need nurturing. They need, you know, they need to understand what the business is, the brand, and everything that goes with that. So our aspirations are, yes, we continue to grow. However, what we don't do is we don't become a greedy provider. We don't become a greedy franchisor where that then has an impact on the long-term future of the business. That's how I look at it. So the next 6 months for me it's about stabilizing and being able to adapt to the current way that the world is. And then from that, we're able to move forward. We are getting interest in our franchise, which is absolutely fantastic. And we're bringing people through, and you will see some of our media, our PR that we are doing there. People are coming through, and that's, for us, it's great. But we want to be able to make sure that we can support them the right way, so they've got a fantastic, viable business that they are proud of, and they look back and think, I'm glad I did that.
Well, on that basis, looking at potential franchisees, my final question, and one I ask everybody, if you were to give one top tip to somebody that's looking to invest in a franchise, what would it be?
Do your research. That's my single thing would be, do your research. There's lots of franchisors about, and we all do very similar things, but we all do different things as well. So you have to find the franchise that meets your needs. Mm-hmm. So I would always say, do your homework, do your research, ask lots of questions, and then come back and ask more questions.
Absolutely. Yvonne, thank you so much for your time today. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you.
You are more than welcome. Thank you, Pip.